universe of beer and music.
Hey everybody, I'm back again. It's Dr. Tangent, and tonight we're going to be looking at something big. Um, we're going to be taking the channel's first dive into the world of IPAs or India Pale Ales. You can check some of the shorts to get more information on exactly what an IPA is and where that genre has risen from and how they've completely taken the craft beer world by storm as a beer style. However, what we're looking at tonight is an Imperial IPA. You may remember from the uh, Imperial Hefeweizen video what Imperial means, but for those who didn't catch that video, go back and check it. It's good. Um, Anytime you see Imperial, the term Imperial, uh, in reference to a style of beer that you might see on a menu or at a bar. Basically, it just means that it's a bigger version. It has a higher alcohol by volume than the typical version of its style. But tonight we are going to be looking at Lucid Dreamwave batch number 3. This comes from a brewery out of Middletown, New York called Equilibrium Brewing in collaboration with the crazy bastards out of Brooklyn known as Other Half Brewing. Um, a little bit about Equilibrium. They started off a couple guys at MIT. They were environmental engineers and were working on ways to uh, improve water quality around the world. And they really dove deep. They're very, very much science guys. But then they fell in love with craft beer, and bam, they became a brewery. They decided, hey, let's take our knowledge of how to treat water to take all the bad stuff out and learn how to put good stuff in and make beer. So that's how they started, and they're still very, very science heavy in their processes. On the other hand, the guys at Other Half originated in Brooklyn and are well known for their work in the IPA world. They're have expanded greatly and actually have tap rooms and facilities all the way from the Finger Lakes all the way down to Washington, D.C., a total of 5 total. So they've really come on strong as a craft brewer. But tonight we are looking at Lucid Dreamwave. This is an 8.2% ABV IPA. It is described as a hazy, glowing tangerine color with the aromas of passion fruit, pineapple, candied peaches and cream, and a touch of watermelon Jolly Rancher flavor. And it contains lactose. So let's take a look at this bad boy. Well, it certainly lives up to its description. It is hazy. It is a tangerine color, almost orange. Can't see through it. And this is what's pretty typical of an IPA. Now, also in the shorts section of my channel, you'll find a little talk about the difference between West Coast and East Coast IPAs. This would be generally considered a East Coast or New England style IPA or an NEIPA. They are known for being hazy, fruity, a lot of tropical fruit notes type of thing. But that isn't from addition of fruits necessarily. That is all driven by the types and amounts and timing of hop additions during the brewing process to coax those flavors out and into the final product. But let's take a sniff. Yep, you get the fruits, getting a lot of citrus, get a little bit of passion fruit. I'm not really getting the peach on the nose, but I'm getting a little bit of earthy pine and resin scent to it also. There it is. There's uh, the IPA experience. Now there are some people, some craft beer fans that bemoan and beat their breasts about the proliferation of IPAs and how you go into a brewery and they'll have 10 things on tap and 7 of them will be IPAs. Then there are people at the opposite other end of the spectrum who cling to the concept of the IPA with the zealousness of a cultist. Most of us fall somewhere in between. I'm not super crazy about IPAs. There are some good ones, but I don't drink IPAs every day. I don't seek out IPAs. And again, if you're just sitting there going, IPA, what the hell does that mean? Check out my short about the India Pale Ale, and that'll give you a lot of background information. But this is a good example of an IPA. For a while in the craft beer world, as the IPA craze really started taking off, it seemed like it was a race among breweries to get to the highest IBU rating of their beer. IBUs are international bittering units. It is a rough way to know before drinking just how much bitterness there is in a beer. The higher the IBU numbers, generally, the more bitter the beer is. IPAs are can be very bitter, and that's by design a lot of the times. For a while in the craft beer world, it seemed like it was a race to getting the most bitter beer you could put out there. But that's changed over the last 5, 7, 8 years to where a lot of brewers now are trying to coax creamy, fruity flavors out of their IPAs and leave a lot of the bitterness behind. Trying to get the most flavor out of the hops and not the most bitterness out of the hops in the beer. But all of them will have a firm bitterness. Beer in general is a balance between the sweetness of the malts, the grains that are used to create the beer, and the bitterness of the hops that are put into the beer. And IPAs will lean towards the bitter side. So if you really, really hate hops and really hate bitter beers, you might have to very carefully pick through offerings in the IPA world to find something you'll enjoy. But I bet you probably still will find something. So, what are we going to pair with this tonight? This is an electric beer. It gets in you and just drives your taste buds into a frenzy. And the last couple of videos, admittedly, we've gone pretty far back. We've gone back to the 90s and even the 80s in previous videos. So we're going to keep it much more recent this time. What we're going to listen to tonight is a fairly new Ghanaian-Australian rapper. He's the younger brother of Citizen K, and he goes by the stage name of Genesis Owusu. And tonight we're going to look at his newer release, Get Inspired. All right, so I love this guy's music. He's just so different, so new. Australian-born rapper, as I said before. I'm sorry, no, Ghanaian just born, lives in Australia now, so he's Ghanaian-Australian rapper. But he does some really cool stuff in that he blends elements of punk, R&B, funk, even like 90s and 80s synth pop into his songs in really unique and mesmerizing ways, in my opinion. Plus, he bucks the trend that that occurs a lot in the rap offerings that are out there. See if you can catch on to it, though. Let's check it out.
Yeah. Cliche if it's not making dollars, baby, it's not making sense. How you picky with your art when you can't even pay your rent? Shit for years and years and years, but seems you haven't made a dent. All that dream and shit you chasing, showed his face, then came and went. Feels like I'm out here scuba diving with an anchor. While my people fighting demons and the cancers. Tryna fix it, singing ballads, singing anthems. How I'm so clueless with the last name answer. Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, how he do that? Can't be sitting channel in the storm, you gotta move that. I've been busy breaking down the walls, I'm getting through that. Girl, this ain't my final curtain call, I bet you knew that. Trap. How the fuck you figure that? I can't be laying on my back. I hear them knocking on my door, but love ain't living here no more. Holding life, I gotta squeeze. These lemons got me on my knees. They biting, they some fucking fleas. I'm snapping eyes saying cheese. Shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time, shorty get inspired. How about that? How about that? This time.
So there you have it. That is Genesis Owusu. Personally, I really like the song. There's a lot in there that kind of reminds me of 80s synth pop from like Missing Persons. If that rings a bell, I'll throw a couple links into the description below. But as far as with this beer, big, bold, this beer is a collaboration. Genesis Owusu has also done some interesting collaborations. He very recently sold out the, pardon me, Sydney Opera House when he performed with the Red Bull Symphony Orchestra. Interesting stuff. I'll throw a link to actually this song that he performed with the orchestra there. He also did a very energetic collaboration with Australian punk rock band The Chats. If you really do a deep dive into punk rock, you guys might be familiar with The Chats song Smoko, which I'll also link below. But he teamed up with The Chats to do a cover of the Talking Heads' Psycho Killer. And it is killer. Definitely worth a watch. So what do we think, folks? You like it? You hate it? The song, the beer, IPAs in general, rap, 80s synth pop? Let me know in the comments below what you think, what you want to hear, what you want to know. If you have questions about beer and the brewing process, throw those in down there too. Maybe I'll make a short video answering any questions that pop up down there. But for me, love this song. It is moving. It's great. It makes me dance, and I suck at dancing, so that's a good thing. If you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, share it with friends, whatever you want to do. But hit that reminder too, because I'm going to have content coming out every week. And like I said before, sometimes it'll be reviews, sometimes it'll be reactions. So if you have a song that you want me to hear that you think maybe I haven't heard before, hit me up. If you have a beer that you think you would like to hear me review, let me know what it is, and I will take a look at it. Thanks a lot, guys. Catch you later.